Hello, friends, and welcome to the new episode of r/Tales from Retail. And today we have 3 crazy stories for you, so if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. And let's get started. Get out of my parking spot. So a few months ago, I got a job as a front service clerk for a grocery store. Essentially what that entails is pretty much bagging customer stuff, getting carts from the parking, and mentally swearing out people who can't be bothered to put the carts in the collection corrals that are put out there, cashiering, so on and so forth. It's not the best job in the world, but it makes ends meet for college payments, so that's something. Anyway, over the course of my career, both at this store and the ones before it, I've made a habit to arrive at work at least 15 minutes before the start of my shift. It's the result of a combination of paranoia of being late for work and getting in trouble, even though my direct superiors are often very chill about it, within reason, and the logical deduction of it being better to be early than it is to be late. So yesterday, I arrive at my store around 20 minutes before the start of my shift. Okay, awesome. I'm not going to be late today. So while I settle, park my car, relax, and play some music on the radio before I have to go check in. All is good in the world for about 10 minutes. Then I hear someone tapping on the side view window. Unfortunately, I make the mistake of rolling down the window instead of just ignoring them in hopes he'd leave me alone. So this wonderful exchange occurs. Me is M, angry old man is OM. Me. Can I help you? Get out of my parking spot. I'm sorry, did I hear him correctly? Me. What? OM. You work here, right? Me. Yes. OM. So that means you have to help your customers, right? So you can help me by getting the bleep out of that parking spot. You just been sitting here hogging a good parking spot while I've been looking for a place to park, you lazy punk. At this point, I'm just in silent awe and confusion at the audacity of this guy, awe at the fact that he had the gall to demand me to move my car, and confusion at the fact that he's been looking for a place to park when the lot is pretty much empty, and my car is parked all the way at the end of the lot, so it's not exactly as good of a parking spot as he might think. Some clarification might be needed on that last bit. You see, as I and pretty much anyone who's worked retail can attest, management usually requires that employees park at the end of the lot so customers don't have to. Customer convenience and all that stuff, nothing really unexpected, and I'm not really a problem in my eyes. Me. Sir, there are plenty of parking spaces that are closer to the store. Why don't you try those? OM. I don't care about those. I want this one. This one has all the shade. Okay, now I see what has this guy's panties in a twist. For the record, I'm in Florida. As anyone can attest to, during the summer months, it's pretty brutal down here. The humidity is outrageous on account of the frequent afternoon showers, and being a part of the Sun Belt doesn't help any. And to top it off, leaving your car off for even just 5 minutes is enough to turn it into a sauna. When I got to work, I saw a spot at the end of the lot right under a tree, so like any sane person, I jumped on the opportunity and put my car there so I wouldn't have to deal with said sauna mobile when I got off work. I guess this guy didn't like that and wanted the shade too. Well, you're out of luck, pal. I'm not even going to bother putting on my customer service persona. I'm not technically at work yet, and if he goes to complain to my managers, he won't have a leg to stand on, given that I'm following the rules when it comes to where I'm not allowed to park, and he's just being ridiculous. So I tell him, I'm not moving. What? You heard me. I got here first, and I'm not moving for you. OM. I'm going to have you fired if you don't move right now. Yeah, you do that. And with that, I put my window up and pretty much signaled to him that I'm done with the conversation. He sputtered in rage for a few moments before he gave up and stormed into the store in a silent rage. And our next story. Instant karma is such a beautiful thing. All my fellow retail workers know the glorious feeling that accompanies a jackass customer being slapped down, whether you yourself get to deliver the coup de grace to their ego, or if you merely watch someone else do it. There are few things quite as satisfying as bearing witness to a righteous verbal smackdown against an odious customer. Come step aboard the Wayback Machine and I'll take you back to such an event in the far-off days of 2008. It was an average day in my little kingdom of U-Scan until Royal Jerkface called me over for help. He had a coupon, and it wasn't scanning. The following conversation is an approximation of what I can remember since this happened almost 6 years ago. His final line, though, is 100% accurate, as is what follows that. Me. Oh, well, these machines don't actually scan the coupons, sir. I'll have to do that for you. Well, that's effing stupid. I sigh internally and say, well, just let me take that coupon for you and I'll get this taken care of. He handed me the coupon and I felt myself die a little inside. It was expired by over a month. I'm terribly sorry, sir, but this coupon is expired. I'm afraid I can't take it. What? That's bullcrap. I've used these coupons here before. Yes, but this one is expired. It's no good anymore. Whatever. Just give me my money off. I'm sorry, but I can't. Yes, you can. You have to. No, sir, really, I can't. Company policy does not allow us to accept expired coupons. This is crap. I know you can take this. It's your job. Do your job and do it right, you vapid C-word. I was stunned. Nobody had ever called me such a thing before, and to have that particularly vile word hurled at me over a 50-cent coupon caught me so off guard that my mind went completely blank. I could think of no way to respond. Fortunately, I didn't have to. During my exchange with Royal Jerkface, I hadn't noticed the customer that sidled up to the next machine waiting for me to finish up with Jerkface. It was my big brother. Now, my big brother is not my big brother just because he's older than me. He's 6'2", has broad shoulders, and at the time had just come home from a summer spent working as a wildland firefighter. So he was in good shape. He's also somewhat comically protective of me. Before the snap of the T at the end of the offending word had finished echoing off the U-scan machines, my brother had closed the distance between himself and RJ. He clamped a hand down on RJ's shoulder, spun him around, leaned down to RJ's eye level. RJ was significantly shorter than him, and snarled, "What did you just say to my little sister?" RJ went white. His face had been the scarlet of a person so angry you fear or hope they may burst an important blood vessel somewhere. But one look into my brother's eyes and the color just drained out of him. He stood for a moment, staring at my brother in abject fear, his mouth opening and closing but producing no sound. Then he turned and sprinted out of the store. At that point, I laughed so hard I cried. It was glorious. It was the most perfect thing I'd ever seen. And as a bonus, neither hide nor hair of RJ was ever seen in the store again. And our third story for you. You're lying to me. I work in a well-known catalog store in the UK. I've posted here before. Yesterday, I had a delightful customer, yeah right, wanting to return a tabletop hob that he bought about 6 weeks ago, claiming it was faulty. No problem, we often deal with faulty returns and we just swap them out for another one. The policy is, however, that the customer needs to have their receipt because otherwise there's no way for us to know how old the item is. So this is how it unfolded. C is customer, me is me. Customer, this is broken. I'd like to swap it for a different one if that's possible. Me, sure, no problem. Have you got your receipt? It was emailed to me. Let me find it. No problem. Now, usually this would annoy me. Just be ready. But it was dead and there was no one else in the queue. 5 minutes passed, he still couldn't find the receipt. Well, I probably wasn't given one. Well, you would have been given a paper copy too. Do you have that on you? No, I wasn't given one. They said it would be emailed, but it hasn't been. Just replace it. Well, we need a receipt to do that, unfortunately. At this point, I took the customer's card because we can search for previous transactions, although it takes a while, so I go off to do that. I can't find a single transaction from this guy. We can only search transactions done in our store, so I go off to check. Should have done this initially, but whatever. The next store's quite a few miles away. Did you buy it in this store, or was it... Look, why is this so hard? I'm fed up of this. You're taking too long. Just give me my money back. I'd be happy to do that, but I do need proof of purchase. I've tried searching our system, but nothing is coming up. I need... At this point, he starts raising his voice. My manager's looking over, but I know she has my back. In every other store, I can put my card in the machine and it brings up the transaction. Do that and give me my money. Is that a thing? It's not been a thing in any retail store I've worked in. I'm trying to help you, sir, if you... No, you're not. You're lying to me. I bought this item with this card and you're telling me it's not on the system. You're lying. Why would I lie? I'm trying to help you. If you continue raising your voice at me, I'm going to walk away and stop serving you. He then threw his wallet contents onto the desk. Ah, here's the receipt. The same paper receipt you said we never gave you? If you'd given me that 15 minutes ago, sir, you'd have been out of the store much faster. Just give me my money. So I refund the guy his money. He starts ranting about how I lied to him, haven't helped him, etc. I just smile and tell him to have a nice day. The guy left. A few minutes later, I noticed he'd left his card in the card machine. If this were a bank, you'd have to instantly cut up that in a specific way and sort the pieces into separate folders for removal destruction. After all, that's the policy, and really for your safety, Mr. Customer. Thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.